6-7 KCAL rocks. It is Monday, which of course means we have got to check in with our guy Pep and see what is going on in this COVID-19 sports world of ours.
Well, 40, the big thing is, and man, thank goodness we had some awesome sports programming, was, the ESPN documentary on Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. They're calling it The Last Dance because if you remember,
Right.
it's pretty fun to walk down memory lane because I forget exactly how dominant the Chicago Bulls were. Plus,
Right.
dude, listen, man, I was trying to explain this to my wife. How bizarre that Jordan and the Bulls won 3 straight championships. Then he leaves for 2 seasons to play minor league baseball. The greatest, most famous player in the world stops his dynasty to go play minor league baseball, and then he comes back and wins 3 more. Like, it's just so bizarre, and I think people forget that.
And it wasn't at the end of his career. I mean, it was right in his prime, his NBA champion winning seasons.
Yeah, it's just so strange. And it's kind of fun to walk back down memory lane a little bit because it's been a while. I think Jordan retired, I want to say 2003, like somewhere in that window.
Right. And I mean, those last couple seasons with the Wizards, those don't even count, right?
No, and that's another thing too. Like, I forgot that he actually retired for a couple of years, and then he came back.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I forgot that so much hinged on Phil Jackson and the Bulls not wanting to bring back Phil Jackson, and then that is why Jordan wanted to leave. I forgot all about that part of it.
And that was obviously the huge kind of like the plot point, I guess you could say, for episode 1 was the general manager, Jerry Krause, trying to run Phil Jackson out of town, which in turn ran Michael Jordan out of town. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it was pretty cool to kind of relive some of this stuff. So I'm like, man, I forgot some of that stuff. And listen, I know people are going to bring up the whole, LeBron versus Michael debate and who's the greatest of all time. And I think maybe for this younger generation to watch this 10-part documentary about Michael Jordan, maybe they'll get like a new appreciation. I don't know if they didn't see MJ play in his prime.
And I was on the younger end of Michael Jordan. I was real young when he was dominating everything, but I mean, this is reminding me of things I forgot about and giving me more clarity on stuff that I just didn't care about when I was a kid. It's awesome, man. I mean, 2 episodes in, I'm already hooked.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable that they had a dynasty. And listen, at the end, were they getting a little long in the tooth? Yeah, they were getting a little bit older. But they were still the most dominant NBA team, hands down. They were still the most dominant. And who knows how long they could have kept it going.
I love how much credit they're giving Scottie Pippen and showing just how good Scottie Pippen was, because when I was a kid, I actually liked Pippen more than I liked Jordan.
No, Pippen, listen, they did not too long ago, they did like the 50 greatest NBA players of all time. And Scottie Pippen's on that list, man. Like, he was no joke. He was legit. Right. And during those 2 years, in between the 6 NBA championships, when Scottie Pippen was basically running the show, the Bulls weren't bad. It's just you don't have Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time. I mean, they weren't a bad team. But to think
and Scottie Pippen came 3rd in the MVP running that year. I mean, Scottie Pippen was legit.
He was legit. And if Michael Jordan did not play minor league baseball and they would have kept the band together maybe for another season or 2, I mean, could the Bulls have won 8, 9 straight championships?
That's going to be up there in the what ifs for NBA forever, just like the Kobe and Shaq thing. The what ifs if Jordan didn't go play baseball, if Kobe and Shaq didn't break up.
Yes. Yeah. You're exactly right. And I know it's apples and oranges, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of what Tom Brady went through and he's going to Tampa Bay. Listen, I know it's not the general manager against the coach and star player. It's the dynamics are a little bit different, but seeing a star player who you could arguably say is the greatest in the world of all time, Tom Brady, having to switch teams at the end. I mean, seeing Michael Jordan in a Washington Wizards jersey was just weird, and I think it's going to be somewhat similar feeling when Tom Brady rolls out in Tampa Bay uniforms.
It'll be that, Joe Montana and the Chiefs. We'll see it. Exactly. It'll be weird. Years from now, it won't be talked about. It'll just be that thing that pops up every now and again. It's like, oh, yeah, Brady spent a year with the Buccaneers. That's right. We forgot about that.
You are going to be exactly right. And who knows? Maybe Tom Brady will go win another championship too with Tampa Bay, and it'll be part of his legacy, or maybe it'll just be a footnote.
Hope not.
Who
He's had
knows?
enough.
He's had enough.
Spread the wealth, man.
Well, speaking of Tom Brady in the NFL, we do have some NFL news to get to, an NFL draft, and we'll get to that next. It's all brought to you by Matheson Gas. They are the gas professionals, 3 locations across the Inland Empire. So if you are still operating during this pandemic and you need gas, they can help you for those hospitals, those local restaurants who are still opening. Go ahead and give them a call and check out their website first. That's mathesongas.com. So if you still need gas, they are ready to help with 3 locations in Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, and Riverside. So check them out. They are the gas professionals. That's mathesongas.com. So 40, we've got the NFL draft. It begins
Right.
this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The first round will be on Thursday, and it still looks like the LA Chargers, despite all the smoke screens you might see about something else. And I've looked at a lot of mock drafts. I've got nothing better to do than read every
There's
single
a
mock
lot
draft.
out there. Yeah, exactly.
So I check them all out, and it looks like the Chargers will be, should be, could be selecting a quarterback at number 6. Now, will Tua Tagovailoa, fall down to them at number 6? I think it's a
Right.
long shot, but if not, it looks like Justin Herbert, the Oregon Ducks quarterback, could be the more likely choice, I guess you could say, for the Chargers at number 6.
And I mean, as far as we know, the NFL draft is basically going to look exactly like what we're doing right now. It's going to be a bunch of video conferencing. The glitz and glamour is basically gone from it, but it will be interesting to watch it on Thursday and see exactly how the NFL and ESPN pull it off.
Yeah, I'm all for it, and I think from what I've heard, they're actually doing some test runs this week behind the
Right.
scenes.
Because I've seen some very funny parody memes of like what the NFL draft could look like with like windows freezing, teams talking over other teams. Like it was hilarious.
If the parody that you're talking, one of them that you're talking about, it's one guy, right? And he's the general
Yeah,
manager.
exactly. He's doing yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! I was rolling. That was so funny because really,
He's got the Dolphins hacking the Bengals so they can't draft Joe Burrow. Like it's
Yes,
hilarious.
yes.
I'm gonna have to find it and I'll share that on the Patrick and 40 Facebook page.
oh, you should be. Because listen, we're living in a time where all of us are having to either use Zoom or Skype or some sort of technology to communicate with others. It's not perfect. Or sometimes it's just user error. We don't know what we're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, this could go sideways on Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the NFL draft.
They're all these NFL teams are definitely looking into their IT departments heavy this week. You know that for sure.
Some local guys, I just want to throw their names out there because the NFL
Yeah,
draft
definitely.
is coming up. We've got, I mentioned J.J. Taylor, the Centennial High School running back from Arizona.
10, baby. Yeah.
We got him. We've got Oregon Ducks linebacker Troy Dye from Norco High School.
Nice.
And we got quarterback Blake Barnett from Santiago High School. So, hey, 40, that's 3 guys right there from the Big 8 League, right there. Santiago, Centennial, Norco. And these guys will likely be going in the NFL draft. I mean, I think, again, it goes back to the IE, man, is just ripe with football players.
That's the thing. I mean, it seems like the football scene here in the Inland Empire has picked up. I mean, over the past couple of decades, it's insane the number of NFL players that we're churning out from this area now.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's so cool to see these guys come up through high school, see their dreams fulfill, and and kind of follow them along from there. It's so cool for them and their families. Hey, and finally, the ongoing debate continues about Major League Baseball trying to get things going where everyone is playing in the Phoenix area. This is not the Cactus League versus Grapefruit League, Arizona, Florida.
Okay.
This is all in
This is
Arizona.
the whole league.
Correct.
Okay.
And, a lot of big name players have been outspoken about this, and I'll make this quick, but Mike Trout of the Angels, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers, they've all come out publicly, and those 2 guys don't really speak a whole lot to the public.
Right. Pretty quiet.
They are. They're really quiet. So for them to come out and say they have concerns, not saying it's not doable, but they have concerns about how this will work, especially Mike Trout. His wife is pregnant. So what if they start the season and he's got to, obviously run off to see the birth of his first child? How does he come back? Do they quarantine him for 2 weeks and they reintroduce him to the team? There's a lot of issues there.
You'd either have to retest, and if he does show signs, I mean, obviously have to quarantine at that point. I mean, it gets so messy when you're talking about trying to quarantine a league but then any sort of outside thing coming into that is going to affect it.
Yeah, I mean, here we are on April 20th. There's still no plan, but we had heard a couple weeks ago that baseball was hoping to return in mid-May, and I'm hoping that's the case. I hope they find that way.
Hopefully, we see some of that coming. Thursday, we will be talking more with Pep and getting ready for that NFL draft on Thursday. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
It's Inland Sports, streaming live and amplified from my living room, so you can check that out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course the YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button for us. We'd appreciate it. We'll talk NFL draft.
Thanks, Pep. Awesome, man. That was great.